Our squat cheater scarecrows, or our cheater scarecrow squats, are going to be a combo move between holding a squat position for those quads, glutes, and hamstrings, and then also performing that cheater scarecrow movement, which is great for those rear delts, a little bit of that upper back, and also working other muscles of your rotator cuffs. So we're going to be wanting to hold that squat position for this movement. We're going to take a little wider stance than a normal squat for this one, and what that's doing is simply giving us a more stable base of support, since we have weights that are going to be out here wanting to pull us over, pull us in different directions. Having a wider base of support is going to help us here. So we're going to take almost a sumo stance here, so just around shoulder width apart. We're going to get down to where we're holding probably not a full squat, so not all the way down, but about half to 3/4 of that squat. So we're not just bending just slightly, otherwise we're not going to work the legs very much. Make sure that you are bending on down where we're getting close to that 90 degree, so that we are going to be working the legs throughout this movement. Once we're in that position, we're going to be doing that cheater scarecrow movement. That's to where, I'll give you a front view so you can see it a little better. The weights are starting here. We're bringing the elbows up. As those elbows come up, we're rotating to where we're up in this scarecrow position at the top here. And then again, rotating and then lowering back down. So again, leading up with the elbows, rotating on up, and then dropping back on down. Rut with the elbows and rotate, back on down, and then lower those weights. I'm keeping my torso hinged over slightly here, and what this is doing is this is engaging more of my rear delt, so more of the back of the shoulders, because it's having to fight gravity throughout more of a range of motion on this exercise. So doing that with weights, we're going to grab those dumbbells, feet outside of shoulder width, just slightly right around shoulder width, get down nice and low in that squat, almost to a 90, weights are in front here, back's nice and straight, coming up with the elbows, rotating on up, rotating down, and then lowering. So this is our cheater scarecrows while holding that squat. Most common mistakes made on this one, number one, by far, not getting low in that squat. So what that looks like is just barely bending the legs, just like this. You're essentially just doing a cheater scarecrow here. You're not going to be working the legs very much, which is the point of this exercise. So make sure you are getting low down in that squat. That's tip number one, most common mistake number one. Most common mistake number two, not keeping the core tight and the back straight. So what that looks like, maybe you're getting down low in that squat, but we're rolled over like this, and we're putting more strain on the low back. Focus on your posture. Upper body's going to be over at about a 45. It doesn't need to be way over here, parallel to the floor, and we are not rolling the spine. So that's number two. Number three, make sure that you're performing those cheater scarecrows correctly at a light weight. A lot of times, you're going to pick too heavy of a weight for this one, and you're not going to be able to perform them correctly. If you are wondering how to do this exercise, go watch that cheater scarecrow demonstration video. It is going to go more in depth on the key points for this exercise. But just briefly touching on them, remember, we want to be able to come up with the elbows to about shoulder height and rotate here. Rotate to where we're in line now with the spine, rotate back down, and lower down. If you find that you're putting too much strain on the shoulders, or you're having to swing to get those weights on up there, they are too heavy. This is a rotator cuff strengthening move. Make sure you start lighter weight on this one, and then if you feel like it's way too easy, you can always progress up from there. So, start light, get down nice and low in that squat, core nice and tight, back straight, and focus on that rotation as you are coming up with those elbows. Then you can progress on up.